How did people tell time before clocks? Before clocks existed, humans still had meetings to get to, crops to plant, prayers to say, and wars to start on schedule. So how did they do it? The sun. That was it. That was the whole system. If the shadow from a stick was long, it was morning or evening. If it was short, midday. That stick had a name, a gnomon, and it was basically the world's first clock. Just a stick, casting a shadow. Humanity's greatest invention for about 3,000 years. Then came the sundial. Same idea, but fancier. Etched lines, specific angles, actually somewhat accurate. The Romans put them in public squares so everyone could agree on what time it was. Problem? Useless at night. Useless on cloudy days, which in England meant useless roughly 200 days a year. So they invented the water clock, a container with a hole in the bottom. Water drips out at a steady rate. You watch the level drop. That's your clock. Ancient Egyptians had these. Greeks had these. Romans had these. They worked indoors, worked at night, worked in winter. The downside? Someone had to refill it, constantly. There was literally a job in ancient Rome called a water clock watcher. You sat there, watching water drip, all day. Medieval Europe handed timekeeping to the church. Monks needed to pray 7 times a day at specific hours, so monasteries rang bells. The whole town ran on monastery bells. You didn't own a clock. You listened for the bell. Can't hear the bell? That's your problem. Hourglasses showed up around the 13th century. Sand instead of water. Portable, reliable, didn't freeze in winter. Sailors loved them. One problem. The moment it ran out, someone had to flip it. Immediately. If you forgot, you lost all track of time completely. The first mechanical clocks appeared in the late 1200s. Church towers, enormous, expensive, loud. They didn't have minute hands. Minutes weren't considered important enough to track yet. Think about that. For most of human history, being an hour early or an hour late wasn't a failure of punctuality. It was just Tuesday. We built an entire civilization, empires, cathedrals, trade routes, navies, with nothing but shadows, dripping water, church bells, and sand. Your phone tells you the time to the second, and you're still late.